Do you guys remember when the fourth generation Jimny launched back in 2018? Oh my goodness, people went crazy for it. I think there was like a year or year and a half waiting list. It had a slight revision in 2022, and Suzuki SA decided to also source it from India instead of Japan at the time, which then sorted out that stock issue. But there was one thing that was missing, and that was a practical version of the Jimny. We loved the Jimny for its capabilities, especially off-road, but it wasn't exactly very practical. But now they've brought us this, the 5-door Jimny, and we've been really excited waiting for it. We're in fact on the local launch because we're actually in Botswana. Yep, we've crossed over the border from Polokwane and we're now in Botswana. We're going to put it through its paces on some gravel. We're going off-roading. We're staying in the Thule wilderness area. And guys, we're going to really see how practical this 5-door Jimny is. This 5-door version, while still based on a ladder frame chassis, is the same height and width as the 3-door version. The overall length of the car has increased from 3,645 to 3,985 millimeters. This is thanks to the longer wheelbase that is stretched by 340 millimeters. Ground clearance remains at 210 millimeters, while the approach breakover and departure angles are measured at 36 degrees, 24 degrees, and 47 degrees respectively. It's all very familiar in here. It's very much the Jimny 3-door version. Now you also get a GL and or GLX model. But for example, the GLX 5-door, you get a 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system. You also get a rear camera, rear sensors, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as 6 airbags. Now, what I love about the Jimny's interior, and I think Jimny lovers love it as well, is the fact that this interior is all a little bit sort of simple and rough and rugged. What I don't like, however, is the fact that there's almost next to no storage. So you do have 2 cup holders, but they're way back here. There's nowhere really to put your keys or your phone or anything, which I find incredibly frustrating because this is going to be a car that you're sort of overlanding in and going places, right? Even if you're using it around town, you need to put your stuff in places. But let's go check out just how practical the rear is. Guys, look how much space is back here. Okay, this is me sitting behind myself, and you can already tell how much more space is in this 5-door version. But I want to show you what the boot is like, because that was mainly the big problem for the 3-door Jimny, if you required more space, that is. Okay, now excuse the mess, guys, but I want to show you exactly what we have been driving with. Okay, so you can see we've got 2 carry-ons, we've got some tog bags, we could fit more in. I think the 3-door, you had to put one of these up, sort of that way, probably only fit 2 in. Now it means that you can stack these up and have sort of 4 carry-on bags and possibly other stuff, and then still have enough space for all 4 occupants without even maybe needing a trailer. The luggage compartment is more practical where, every litre counts. While the 3-door Jimny has 85 litres of boot space, the new 5-door Jimny bumps that up with 126 litres more, to a total of 211 litres. So this 5-door Jimny has the same engine as the 3-door Jimny, which is that naturally aspirated 1.5 litre engine with 75 kilowatts of power and 130 newton meters of torque. I'm not that happy to report that it performs as I expected it to on road, which is pretty poorly. That is the letdown for the Jimny. Unfortunately, it's so fab off-road. It's actually great around town, but on an open road, not only does it just lack that power, and you're getting up to the national speed limit and you're starting to sort of struggle. This boxy shape doesn't really lend itself very well to the wind. It's a light car. When it comes to fuel consumption, you've got an option of the 4-speed automatic or the 5-speed manual. Now I'm in the manual and I'm sitting at 8.4 litres per 100 Ks. It's claimed at 6.4. I think you could probably get it down to between maybe 7 and 8. In the auto, you're looking at like 6.7 litres per 100 Ks. As much as I prefer the manual, because I don't think the auto is great in small engines anyways. But it does make your drive maybe a little less work. When it comes to pricing, the Jimny is priced really, really well. This 5-door goes from about 430 up to 480,000 Rand. Now, when you look at rivals, it doesn't really have many, or actually any. I would say the only most obvious one is probably the Renault Duster, and that comes in at around 440, if I'm not mistaken. It's also got a turbocharged engine, though. However, this might be just a little bit more appealing in terms of design. It's also newer, and if you're a Jimny lover, you're a Jimny lover. There is no denying how capable this little Jimny is. It makes me think of that train, I think I can, which is kind of their slogan now with this whole 5-door, is that now everybody can Jimny, and you really can. We're in a riverbed in the middle of Botswana, on sand. I'm in low range. We've had no problems thus far. We did do the hill descent control down into the riverbed. Well, I found that quite tricky in a manual because it's been a long time since I've done off-roading in a manual. But this car gives you the confidence. You just sort of go with the flow and let it do its thing.
And let's be frank, Suzuki is killing it at the moment, and for good reason. They make affordable products that are not only excellent, but are also appealing.
This longer 5-door Jimny is everything that I think Jimny fans want, right? Especially if they're looking for that extra bit of space. The only letdown is this on-road driving, which we have with the Jimny 3-door. A little turbocharged engine would be nice. However, I don't think that's going to deter Jimny fans. Have you met a Jimny fan? I am certain that we're going to see many, many of these on the roads. So if you are in the market for an adventurer at this price point, you actually just cannot go wrong.